Live from the Export Beer Garden studio and brought to you by Export Ultra, the beer for here. It is the Agenda podcast for Tuesday, the 27th of August.
The Agenda podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Morning, Lane. You just mentioned a good point. We haven't addressed the weightlifting challenge from the Olympics.
Yeah, I'm headed to LA.
Well, no. You did successfully manage to clean and jerk the lightest successful lift at the 2024 Olympics.
Yes.
Which was a snatch by a 49 kilo woman.
Under 49, under 48s, I think.
Well, yeah, but they'll suck down like fighters and then balloon back up to about 50 kilos.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? There was a lot of doubters out there. I had people in the office saying, don't do it. You're going to hurt yourself.
I had people in the office coming up to me being like, don't let him do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? What do I care?
Yeah.
I'd love to watch him blow his back out.
Yeah. Anyway, when was the last time? I've never seen people care so much.
I know.
Like I was going to snap my neck, but you know what? I crushed it. Suck on that.
Yeah. Congratulations. Real drive-by on the athlete out of Guam. I don't know if she
didn't deserve that stray, but
she didn't deserve that. But to all the haters that said he couldn't do it, he did. And I felt like you had a bit left in the tank too.
I had a little bit. I had a little bit. To be honest with you, I did have a bit of a twingy back because my technique was shocking. It was all back, no arms.
Just muscled it.
Yeah. So I reckon you could have chucked another 10 or 15 on there.
Yeah. Well, I think that's how much she did lift for the clean and jerk, was about 77 kilos.
Yeah, I reckon I could have done that.
Again, I feel like a few people have misconstrued what we were trying to test here, because people have been saying to me, that doesn't mean you would have won a medal at the Olympics.
Nah.
That's not what we were trying to prove.
No. It was proving, could compete?
Could you beat any Olympian at anything?
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess that, or like if you fired off a lucky shot with the pistol, it'd probably be the only other way.
Just a lucky shot. Everyone else has got a pistol, you've got a shotgun. So you get the target, it goes.
One of your pellets has to hit it, yeah. But anyway, yeah, you did it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, you can see that on the Instagram. Is it still there or has it been taken down?
No, it's still there.
Okay, it's
still there. Go and watch the first 90% of that. And speaking of social media, the podcasts are now on YouTube, so you can watch our beautiful, beautiful faces while we're doing this. You can join the 100 of people around the country that watch it every day.
It's exploding, though. It started with 7.
Yeah, and including my mum and my dad are 2 of those. So Warren and Lisa, shout out to you.
Was Lisa.
And I think I've figured out, I'm always looking to make this podcast a little bit better, the ACC a little bit better. And I've been looking for tips as to how to grow a YouTube audience.
Yeah.
There is a new fastest growing YouTube channel on God's green earth right now.
Oh, God.
And it is from Cristiano Ronaldo. He has recorded the most successful YouTube channel launch ever after giving viewers the impression that he and Georgina Rodriguez had secretly been married. I don't think that's why people were watching it. Like, I feel like this reporter was really looking through their own lens. But Cristiano Ronaldo started his own channel. It's called UR, and the U looks like a stylized C for Cristiano Ronaldo, but for some reason it's a U. I don't know if it's a Portuguese thing. Anyway, fastest to reach 100,000 subscribers. It only took 55 minutes. And then the fastest to surpass 1 million, which took 90 minutes. It is currently sitting at 47 million subscribers.
I would say that's a bit piss weak from Ronaldo. Do you know why? He's the most famous person on the planet, just about. In terms of sports.
Yeah. Who would be? I mean, he's the most followed account on Instagram, I believe.
Exactly. So to transfer, you just need to transfer that across. Do better.
Better than 47 million?
Yeah, do better, you pussy.
Well, I think a massive cap on that is that he does the whole thing in Portuguese, him and his wife, and then it's overdubbed. So they've got voice actors who are overdubbing over the top of it. The first video that I watched, it had 50-something million views, was them doing how well do you know each other, where they write down questions and then they hold it up. They do not know each other very well, Cristiano and his missus. Does that shock you?
No, it doesn't shock me at all, because I don't understand why he's doing it. Why is he? I mean, is he bored? He's playing in Saudi Arabia and earning billions and billions of dollars. What's he doing? Is he bored? Is he sitting in his compound in Saudi going, oh fuck, I'm bored, I'm going to start a YouTube channel?
I suspect that his wife being in every one of these videos has a little bit to do with it.
I see.
I reckon he was like, look, my plate's full. I got training. I'm still playing.
Yeah.
And even though he's playing in a bit of a half-assed league, he's still a professional athlete. He still has to train. And I reckon she would have been like, can we fire up a wee YouTube channel here? That's probably why it's not just called the Cristiano Ronaldo YouTube channel.
Okay.
So anyway, how do we translate that to our own YouTube channel? Do we get Cristiano Ronaldo's wife on?
Yeah, I think so.
Or Cristiano himself?
Yeah, I think that's probably the key, is to maybe get Lionel Messi to just jump on our side.
He smashed Lionel Messi's YouTube channel numbers.
So Lionel Messi will be like, oh, that dirty.
We're going to have to get him back.
Portuguese guy's got me again.
How do I get back at him?
Yeah.
Join forces with the ACC.
They'll never see it coming. Ronaldo will never see it coming.
No, I'm sure they've had meetings where our names have come up and said, look, I don't think they're a massive competitor to us.
You wait.
Unless they manage to sign the greatest football player of all time, then maybe.
Yeah.
Watch out for Cristiano Ronaldo in the next couple of weeks. I've reached out to him.
Have you?
Send him a couple of DMs.
You slid in there?
Yeah, but again, it'll take him ages to get through his DMs, most followed account on Instagram. But I think eventually we'll get there. The greatest New Zealander, I've got an apology to issue. Yesterday we wanked on. I was going to say wax lyrical, and then I stopped at wanked on. About
Lisa and Paddles.
Lisa and Paddles. That wasn't the matchup yesterday.
Oh.
I had bad information. There's some bad actors at work here. It was Bruce McLaren versus the Four Square guy.
Oh, that's been a drubbing.
In favour of?
Bruce McLaren, surely. Smashes Charlie.
It was. But I would say, it's very aspirational, Bruce McLaren. I've never bought a McLaren, but I've bought a lot of stuff from Four Square.
What, does that make Charlie a better New Zealander, does it? Just because you got... Look, he's
done more for me.
Charlie's gouging you as well, by the way. Four Squares are always more expensive than any other supermarket.
Bruce McLaren's selling his cars for $1 million. He's gouging you too.
No, he's a pioneer.
Yeah, but who's done more for me personally? I think Four Square. I'd argue who's done more for the common man. I'd argue the Four Square guy.
The common man?
I've never seen a McLaren in Twizel.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Is there?
I'm pretty sure one would have driven through.
Have you seen it?
Doing the bird.
Nah.
To the Four Square. To the Four Square also in Tekapo, which has the most prime real estate, that Four Square.
Beautiful.
Who did the town planning there?
Where can you put something that's not overlooking the lake, It's a beautiful town.
Let's put it right in front of the lake. Huge car park.
Yep.
Supermarket. Perfect. Done.
Yeah.
It is a great Four Square, though.
Oh, one of the all-timers. I, back in a former life when I was a plasterer around the South Canterbury region, we went out to a bloke he was an Aucklander, and he built a new little house there in Tekapo, as all the houses are, looking over the lake. Got us in to do a plastering job, and he was telling us, we're like, oh, so you live in Auckland, how often do you come down here? He goes, well, this is the thing. I didn't understand how Airbnb worked. So I put it up for 2 years, and it booked out every day, but every weekend between now and the end of that 2 years. So I've just built it. Me and my wife can't come down here.
That's not a bad problem to have.
I was like, I know, I booked it. And I'm subletting it, and I made a lot of money off that, which is great because I wasn't making a lot as a plasterer. Anyway, today it is Lisa v Paddles. If you want to know what we think about that, you can go back and listen to yesterday's podcast.
Controversial yesterday.
It was controversial. Where did you land on that?
I landed on Paddles.
Yeah.
I had Paddles more I do think our audience is probably more paddly than Lisa.
You think we've got quite a paddly audience?
Yeah. Our cricket's our origins, and I think the audience will look at that and go, Paddles, servant of cricket for over 20, still serving New Zealand cricket to this day. And Lisa, sure, not taking away from Lisa Carrington, Lady of the Lake, Dame Lisa.
Goat in the boat.
Goat in the boat. But I just think the audience, but like you said, it might be divided in the Facebook, Instagram demographic divide.
It could be. There's also recency bias. Anyway, we're dipping our toes back into the yesterday's lake. But you can go and have your say. Genuinely today, it is Lisa versus Paddles. So go and have your say on your Facebooks and your Instagrams. I should pull people behind the curtain this morning. We are up against the pump. We get a couple of video shoots to get away this morning. So you'll forgive us if it's a truncated episode of the Agenda podcast. But with that in mind, let's take a quick break, come back, talk some actual sport. Lane, there's a bit of news on the rugby league front.
Yep.
And it's news that I think is going to piss a lot of our audience off. And that is that the NRL, Graham Annesley, head of the officiators of the NRL, has come out and said that the officials got the RTS call wrong.
Do you know what? I feel like the NRL officials are like Catholics. Because you can do whatever the fuck you want, and you just turn up to church and go to confessional and repent, and it's all sweet.
Yeah.
And there's no blowback.
No.
So they just turn and go, fuck, we fucked it up. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And then it's just tumbleweed until the next week, and it happens again. And it's like, what are the consequences?
What are the ramifications here? Because if you get it wrong, I mean, how often has this happened this year? I fluctuate between being like, oh, well, why even bother telling us that you got it wrong then if there's no change coming? You know, like what's the repercussions for us?
It just makes us angrier.
It does, particularly us, because we feel like as a fan base that these calls are going against us, and now we've got stats to back it up. They came out and said that of the 5 sin-binnable offences for high contact over the weekend, 4 of them were caught, and they were like, we're pretty happy with that ratio. The only one that wasn't was the Roger Tuivasa-Sheck one. And I would actually say that the Mitch Barnett one, I don't think they got binned for that either. And he got hit so hard his eyebrows split. It's like, what are the fucking rules
That could have been
at this
anything.
point?
That could be anything. That
Yeah, it could have been, but it was quite clearly the second man into the tackle, pointed the shoulder right to his eyebrow. And it's like Webby was saying after the game, he's like, you know, we wax lyrical about, I used it that time instead of wanking on, about protecting the players. And then as soon as someone gets hit, it's the most egregious, like, he has to come off because he's been hit in the head. Now, the rule is you're not allowed to hit dudes in the head, and if you do, you get binned. So how was that not enforced? I don't understand it. I know that our season was over anyway, but that's Roger's season done. Mm. And, you know, that's another head knock in the career of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. There was no punishment for it. Then they come out and sort of dance on our graves afterwards and be like, yeah, probably should have called that one.
Suckers. I saw a great mock letter on the ACC Instagram story, which is, I'll read to you. It says here, give me one moment, caller. It says here, Monday, 26th of August. Dear New Zealand Warriors, I hope this email finds you well. Once again, I wish to apologise for the incompetent decision-making of one of our officials in your most recent fixture. The offending official has been reprimanded and stood down. Although this appears to be the same email as the one I sent you last time, it is in fact new, as you can see by my changing of the date above. Wishing also your injured player luck with his recovery. Kind regards, Graham Annesley, head of the NRL Elite Football Operations. There you go. It's an official letter from...
It's like every other week. I would actually... I've settled on I would rather not know now. I don't want to know that you guys missed it. Like, we already know. So you come out and say, oh, sorry, and then nothing happens. I don't know. What is supposed to... The other thing is, like, while I'm bitching about the NRL, they talk about, like, there's a salary cap in the league. I don't know what it is. I don't know how much these players get paid. But in the last 10 years, only 3 teams have won the minor premiership. Panthers, Roosters, Storm. So how, like, is the salary cap working? You probably couldn't say it is. The Panthers have won 3. I mean, they are losing players as their run continues. Yeah. But I don't know. There needs to be some sort of bloody... There needs to be an investigation.
There needs to be a bloody investigation, mate. Well, all the other clubs need to get smarter.
Or richer.
Yeah.
Because the Roosters, they are proud of the fact that they've got like a millionaire, billionaire dude who's bankrolling everything. Everyone knows who he is. He's Nick Politis.
You know what we need? We need some of that dirty washing money.
Who would it be?
Saudis.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Although...
the Saudi Warriors?
The Wadi Warrior? Yeah, I don't know.
The one New Zealand Saudi Warriors. It's got a ring to it.
Saudi Wealth Fund Warriors.
Yeah. Got to stick one NZ in there, though, because they've been there forever.
Would it achieve any of their goals, reaching an audience of 5 million?
No, not at all. But I mean, it's just a bit of washing on the side. You know, if you are sports washing, this is just a little left-hand corner. But if they could build a waterfront stadium, that'd be good as well. Yeah,
100%. Speaking of rugby league and salary cap routes, Tom Trebojevic has offered to pay back $750,000 of his salary over the next few years.
What?
Because exactly. That's what I thought too. He was saying, I haven't played many games in the last 2 years. Last 3 years, I think. He's been injured, been out with injuries, so he's gone to the club and said, I'd like to volunteer to pay $750K back.
That smells.
Does smell fishy, doesn't it? The NRL has then vetoed that and said you're not allowed to. You can't do it because there's a thing in the NRL where you have to pay a player their like fair market value. It's to stop things like when Roger Tuivasa-Sheck came back to us. It's to stop us from paying him like $16,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to get him back in the team. There has to be like a fair value there. So that's why they would have vetoed it. But why, if you're Tom Trbojevic, would you do that? Do you believe that he just felt bad to the tune of $750,000?
No. There's something not quite right there.
I think if I was to give him benefit of the doubt, because this would have had to go through his agent. It's not like he could just call the NRL and be like, here's $750K. I think the agent would have looked at it as like, we could give this money, get it off the salary cap, potentially bring in more players under that, give that money to other players, and then we can make it back up off the side because this is a massive PR stunt. So we can then get all these, endorsement deals off the back of that. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, NRL vetoes it. We still look like good guys, and we get to keep the $750K guilt-free.
Well, I mean, who's going to endorse them? A tax refund company?
Well, if you look at their sponsors, it's all like tax lawyers and shit.
Okay, right. Okay, so it's a bit of a PR stunt, but it's a strange one. I've never heard of a professional athlete wanting to give money back unless they've overcharged or they haven't paid tax. Or there's something they're trying to slap a big dead fish on the table.
No.
I do have a couple of stats here. It's because he has only played 30 games since the start of 2022 on a $1.1 million salary. It still does sound fishy.
I get that, but why give the money back? Fuck them. They paid you.
You're a piece of meat. They'll trade you in a heartbeat.
Oh, 100%.
So why the loyalty?
No, that's what I don't understand. Also, a lot of a big salary is a reward for prior performance. So when he was balling out in 2021, that's what most of that contract is for. It's a back pay. Like when Kobe Bryant got paid $40 million a year with a broken Achilles. It was them saying, look, thanks for the last few years, showing other players that they're going to reward good performance. So I just don't think, I don't know, I always smell her out, and this could just be just because I've been broke my entire life, but I'm like, who gives money back on purpose? You know what I mean? This was my whole thing where I didn't think Shaun Johnson was going to retire. So I was like, I know he's gotten contract offers. So who the hell's going to turn that money down? This one's even more bizarre because it's like, you've got it, no one's asked, and then you're like, oh, can I give it back? I don't buy that he's just a good guy. Go and give that to a charity then. If you don't think you deserve that money,
that's true.
Give that. Yeah, that's why I don't think there's more to this than meets the eye. And everyone today has been like, oh, what a great guy, isn't he? That just shows, he's a loyal club man and stuff like that. I don't know about that. Give it back to your local club then if you don't want that $750K.
Yeah. Totes.
Have we decided, I mean, we talked about it yesterday, are we going to put an embargo on the America's Cup?
I don't mind talking about it.
Okay.
Every now and then if there's something juicy. If if someone's found cheating or if someone's been caught doing something.
We've been accused of cheating.
We have?
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah, here we go.
Jimmy Spithill.
Of course it's Jimmy Spithill. The fiery ginger Australian come American.
Yeah. And Grant Dalton are getting into it.
Yes.
Jimmy Spithill has said that there have been a lot of bugs with what the Kiwis have supplied everyone, and it's the first time it's all being used. So he's basically complaining whoever holds the America's Cup gets to decide what everyone races in.
Yep.
And they're saying that all of the equipment that they've been given is faulty or it's a bit dicky, it doesn't work that well. And Grant Dalton said, well, beat us and then you can do it yourself.
That's so true because these a-holes are the ones that, remember they designed that one in Bermuda where was it them who did if they won the preliminary, they went into the final 2 races ahead. Like if they won it, they got a head start.
Oh, really?
And then we ended up beating them.
Yeah.
That's America's Cup. America's Cup is all about if you've got it, you can do whatever you want. And make it impossible for people. That's why it's so hard to win.
Yeah, it's the ultimate rich guy sport. It's like if we're in charge, we get to stack the deck entirely in our favour.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you guys are all playing, but this is the action on the water is far less exciting than all of the litigation that goes on outside of the thing.
And the slagging off. But that's good from Dalton. Didn't expect that from him.
Yeah.
Beat us, bro. You can do it yourself.
It's like in the NBA, there's a unwritten rule where if you're down by or you're up by 20 and there's only 10 seconds left in the game, you don't run off and just dunk it.
Oh, I've seen clips on YouTube of that, and then the fight starts afterwards.
And then a fight starts up, and I'm like, fuck it. If you don't want that to happen, don't get blown out by 20, You should be allowed to do whatever you want. I'd be going off the backboard, dunking it backwards, nuts in their face, the whole thing.
How good would it be the Blues can decide the rules for the Super Rugby next year?
Yeah.
So they've got a mean forward pack. So they just stack the decks and just in terms of forward play.
You're only allowed 3 backs.
Change the rules around line outs, around mauling, around the human centipede. Just stack everything in their favour and then go, come and beat us.
Yeah, and then all the other teams whinge about it. It's like, no, I don't like that I'm only allowed 3 backs.
3 backs. Just change the game completely.
I don't like that they attach the basketball hoop to the crossbar and instead of conversions, now you got to run up and try and dunk it while some other guy tries and blocks you.
Well, that's the extent of America's Cup. Because you look at America's Cup, Sir Peter Blake era, where they're all just sitting on the side of the boat and he's urinating off the back, and it's basically just a big old yacht with a big old sail going about 10 knots today to a foiling spaceship going 100 kilometres an hour. It's fucking pretty next level.
Yeah. Tomorrow I've got a half-baked sports idea that revolves around the America's Cup and how we can leverage the advantage of us deciding what the rules are. Are we allowed to decide the format and stuff as well, or is that, I think that's set, right? We just decide what the boats look like.
No, and the format, because like I was saying before, when America had it, when Larry Ellison and all that had it, and they gave themselves a two race advantage. Fucking hell. They designed the preliminary races, so if they won the prelim, that they went into the final 2 races. So it was already 2-0 by the time they hit the final. So
let's just rig it as much as we can.
Yeah, so they decide everything. They decide when it's done. I think the Louis Vuitton, the Challenger Series, is kind of set in stone, but they can decide. They can do whatever you can do whatever you want.
I know. It's like we're going to set the rules so that only we can win. It's like going around to your rich friends' places as a kid, and they just want to, like they want to play backyard cricket, but they change all the rules. So it's 6 and out when you're in, or when they're in, it's like, nah, just go find the fucking ball and we'll keep playing.
Just get another ball.
Yeah. So that's why I think a lot of people don't want to go around to these rich kids' house. All right. If the Halbergs were tomorrow, this one's been in the paper today. Who would be your sports person of the year? We are in an Olympic year, but I would also say that Lydia Ko, having just won the Open over there at the home of golf, should probably be a pretty strong contender. I think it would come down to her or Lisa Carrington, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would say so.
Sports person of the year.
But for her to back us, it's really hard for Lisa Carrington, though, isn't it? Because it's like once every 4 years she gets to prove her worth on the world stage. They have world championships and stuff, but when was the last time you watched a kayaking world champs? But Lydia Ko, obviously, every couple of months she's got a golf tournament and she's got 4 majors a year. So she's on the headlines a little bit more, but still gold, and back that up with an Open.
She can only win what she's in.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say Lydia Ko.
Yeah,
I'm going to say Lydia Ko right now. Right now.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, what's going to change between now and the end of the year?
She could win a couple more Opens, a couple more majors.
Yeah, but Lisa Carrington's not going to.
That's true. But yeah.
Unless
I don't know.
She wins another gold medal.
But the Halbergs tend to reward Olympians, don't they? That tends to be... And the Halbergs are so dry and boring anyway.
Yeah.
We need to do our own ones.
We should start our own awards.
Yeah.
And make it fun again.
Yeah. And you know what? With the awards, and I got on ZB with Jason Pine to talk about this. This was before the Halbergs, and I just laid into the Halbergs. Because they were saying, they've lost touch. Of course they have.
The Halbergs have lost touch.
But in terms of it's been the same format. And their idea of making it interesting, and God bless James McConey doing some bits and pieces around, but that's not going to get a whole new audience as McConey doing some bits with Michael Jones and stuff like that. It's actually categories. They need to involve the media more. They need to media bloopers. They need the sports bloopers. Make it into a bit of entertainment. That's all we'll do. Maybe we'll do our own sports awards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we do that? Same night. No, night before.
Because that's basically, I mean, I know the Halbergs is like a fundraising thing as well, but that's basically all they did. They were just like, we'll just have a sports awards. It's not like the New Zealand Sports Awards. It's the Halberg Foundation, right?
Yeah, but by default, it is New Zealand Sports Awards. There is no other.
Yeah, that's right. Other. Well, until now.
Yeah. We'll have a chat to some sponsors. Maybe Snackachangi or Ultra. Snackachangi Sports Awards.
Nike.
Google. Sponsor of ours. Hallensteins.
Amazon. Apple. I don't know.
YouTube.
We'll put a few feelers out there. I think it's Lisa Carrington. I think.
Yeah. Go in the boat.
Go in the boat. But anyway, that's a completely. We've already got a Greatest New Zealander debate going on at the moment.
Yeah, let's start another one.
Don't weigh in on this one. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with yours, please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
Just the 2 to get through this morning. First caller, yours, please.
Welcome back, G Lane. Good to have you back, mate. Haven't been banana boated this time, which is good to hear. It is good to have you back due to this is a sports adjacent podcast. And last week I felt that Matthew Heath derailed a little bit. Anyway, fuck Matt Heath.
Were we talking too much sport last week or something? Or is it?
Not enough.
Did he go too adjacent?
Oh, we barely talked sport at all last week.
Oh, okay.
To be honest, there was a lot of communist China. There was a lot of where did time zones come from?
Oh, okay.
There was a lot of famine-related stuff.
Right.
Yeah, just way off into the weeds. Which I enjoyed.
Oh, good. At least there's one listener that's glad I'm back. That's good. After the copying the couple of strays yesterday.
Yeah. Another caller here. Yours, please.
Yeah, g'day. The Rugby League could take a card out of the union book. Anything that's obviously a HIA should be a potential yellow or, card send-off with the ability to be upgraded. Send them off for 5 minutes, wait for the social media to fire up, see what the masses say, send them off. Warriors could have really done with those 2 players sent off. Fucking bullshit.
Do you reckon he was turning left or right?
Oh, left. I think he was pulled over.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he was sitting in an intersection. I hope he's not sitting in an intersection recording that.
I like that. Take it to the public vote.
Yeah.
He's got 5 minutes, goes to Instagram or a Facebook poll.
And the worm comes up on the screen.
Upgraded to red.
It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Where's the worm going?
That's not a bad idea just in general for rugby and rugby league is go to the public.
But the problem is that guy didn't get binned. So it would never have gotten upgraded, they're still just not going to send anyone to the bin. So it's open season on Warriors' heads. I dare say the Sharks would have watched that last week and be like, oh, let's kill these guys. They're not going to penalise us at all.
Now what they'll do, the last game of the season, they'll swing the other way. Everything in our favour.
Yeah.
And we'll go, oh, yeah, see, it's changed.
Yeah.
Give us hope into next year.
Yeah, just keep us on the hook. All right, that'll do us for today. As I said before, we've got a mountain of work to get through today. So we will come back tomorrow with a Wednesday edition of the Agenda podcast, and we'll see you then.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.